This is Satires of Miss G, the weekly podcast from where you get zero knowledge and maybe a movie review or a rumor about my neighbor. Namaste. Thank you for tuning into the fourth episode of Satires of Miss G and a very happy Onam to all of you. എല്ലാവർക്കും എൻ്റെ ഹൃദയം നിറഞ്ഞ ഓണാശംസകൾ. Today I want to talk about dreams, not the dream which you see during the daytime. I'm talking about the one where you are in an island with Hrithik Roshan and Amisha Patel doing Kaho Na Pyar Hai. This podcast is based on a talk given by Mr. Retish Krishnan, and I will share the link of the video if you want to listen to him. But it is in Malayalam and there are no subtitles. I'm sure everyone has thought about dreams. Why do we see dreams? Is there any reason behind it? Or is it just a random process? Today, let us dive into the world of dreams. I remember my 12th standard chemistry teacher telling us a magical story in which the shape of a chemical compound was discovered through a dream. Mr. August Kekule was very absorbed in finding out the structural shape of benzene. He spent weeks and weeks on it. One day, he decides to sleep for some time. Abracadabra! In his dream, he sees a snake curling and biting its own tail. He gets convinced that the shape of benzene is ring-shaped. You all are familiar with the periodic table in chemistry. Will you believe that this periodic table was discovered in a dream? Yeah, Mendeleev said, I saw a dream, a table where all the elements fell into place as required. Awakening, I immediately wrote it down on a piece of paper. And here I am, seeing dreams like Trump awarding me Padma Bhushan for the fantabulous dance that I did in ABCD 2. I have never found any solutions in my dream. Do you think Kekule and Mendeleev were lying about the dreams? Let us look at similar stories. Srinivasa Ramanujam is famous for finding solutions to mathematical problems that were considered unsolvable by the then math geniuses. The present world of academia are still struggling to prove his theorems. When someone asked him how he finds solution, he said, Goddess Namagiri appeared to me in my dreams and wrote on my tongue. Being a deeply religious Hindu, Ramanujam credited his mathematical abilities to divinity. Now imagine a very normal scenario where you see a dream, you wake up, you go to toilet, brush your teeth, you pee, you poop, and your day begins. Now, imagine a scenario where you see a detailed experiment in your dream. You wake up, go to lab, do the exact same experiment, and you get a Nobel Prize after 1 year. That's right. This is how Otto Levy received Nobel Prize in Physiology for discovering how nerve cells communicate with each other. He saw the experiment in his dream. So, how in the world are people finding answers in their dreams when they couldn't find while their brain was fully awake? One of the world's prominent figure in psychology, Mr. Sigmund Freud, once said that interpreting the dreams will let us understand the unconscious activities of one's mind. According to Freud, there are three parts to our mind: id, ego, superego. Id contains all our wishes and desires, such as throwing water balloons on your friend's face. Superego plays the role of parental representation, like your mom not letting you throw the water balloon. Id and superego are always in a battle. The id's desires are not entertained by superego because wishes of id are those that will not be liked by the society. And to avoid that, superego doesn't let id to fulfill its wishes. Now, ego is in between these two. It acts like a referee. In order to avoid superego getting upset, ego represses desires of id. A part of superego and id belongs to the unconscious part of the brain, and the rest of superego and ego is in the conscious part. So, when we sleep, the conscious part of the brain gets turned off, which means the referee goes to sleep. So, what does the id do? Id secretly escapes from the watch of superego and starts projecting its desires as form of symbols to your mind. According to Freud, this is how you see dreams. But let me tell you, Freud died in 1939 and now it is 2020. Since then, the understanding of sleep and dreams have evolved. In 1950s, two researchers, Eugene Aserinsky and Nathaniel Kleitman, tried to understand brain in a different technique. For the very first time, the electrical signals of a sleeping person was measured. They were surprised to know that sleep occurs in stages. Stage 0 is the stage where you are not really sleeping but you enter a relaxed state where you stop accepting outside signals. Fun fact, you enter a similar state when you meditate. Stages 1 and 2, light sleep. This sleep initiates your sleep cycle and acts as a transition to deeper sleep stages. Stages 3 and 4, deep sleep. This sleep focuses on your body. It is the most rejuvenating sleep stage, promoting muscle growth as well as waste removal in your brain. Stage R, REM sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement, and your eyes literally starts moving rapidly during this stage. REM sleep is essential to re-energizing your mind. REM is associated with dreaming and unifying your memory. In a full night's sleep, your body cycles through these stages 4 to 5 times each night. Mostly the dreams that we remember are that of a REM. We usually wake up at stage 2 and because of this, some people don't remember their dreams. The intricate details of various stages of dreams were understood by years and years of research by different scientists. Alan Hobson, Soames, and many more researchers were a part of this. Now, wait a minute. How will knowing all this info help us explain the reason why Ramanujam and the other intelligent beings found their solutions in their dreams? There is a general belief that when one is awake, the brain is conscious, and when one is asleep, the brain is unconscious. It is with this belief in mind that we find it impossible to give credit to ourselves when discoveries are made in our dreams. And thus, we want to imagine that a superior being is responsible for that. Take the case of Ramanujam. Even in the case of an atheist, this happens. Mathematician Newman saw his extraordinarily intelligent colleague, John Nash, coming into his dream and solving a problem. In his research paper, Newman gave the credit to John Nash, even though during this time, Nash was schizophrenic. The point is, people who got answers in their dreams gave credit to some other being and never accepted that they are responsible for those answers. Let's see what the current research tells us. A portion of our brain called prefrontal cortical region goes offline first while sleeping, and this region is responsible for logical reasoning, thinking, planning, and problem-solving capabilities. Now, because this area is inactive while sleeping, we can't do any of those activities. But during REM sleep, apart from logical thinking, everything else comes online. That is why I see illogical dreams like Trump giving me Padma Bhushan. MIT's Matthew Winston conducted an experiment where he trained a rat to find food in a maze. He monitored its REM sleep during those training days. And funnily enough, he found that the firings of the neurons was just like the ones when the rat was in a maze in search of food. In simpler words, the rat in its dreams was practicing how to find food in the maze. That is right, in its dreams. So, sleeping is not equal to your brain getting turned off. While solving, you often set restrictions around the problem that limits the options you consider as possible solutions. These restrictions are from logical reasoning, but in dreaming, your logical thinking goes for a vacation, and thus the restrictions fall apart. As a result, you may see a solution that was not apparent before. And that, kids, is how Ramanujam and the other geniuses got their answers in their dreams. Dreams are nothing but thoughts. The thoughts that you have when you are awake gets converted into something else when you are asleep. Well guys, that's all for today. Hope you have a great week ahead. See you soon. Bye bye.